the thin blue line, the Blue Lives Matter, that's idea and the meme and the thought form that's so pervasive in law enforcement culture, is a social mandate that cops care more about officer safety than they do about doing their jobs in public safety and the defense of human life. Okay, one officer had a minor boo-boo and he was sent to the hospital. It was a very minor boo-boo, and I know all about it. But anywho, they wanted less lethal munitions, flashbang grenades, distraction devices, pepper balls, and rubber bullets, which they use liberally on both groups because they don't have to get in the way. They don't have to physically go in there and remove the people, because I worked as a bouncer in bars and clubs for years, and the one thing you don't want to do when two people are fighting is to jam yourself in the middle. You approach the most aggressive one from behind and take care of that, and then deal with the less aggressive one, right? And that Portland Police Bureau just used a lot of ordnance that could have killed people on both sides.
They did.
Yep.
And that they care more about officer safety than they do about the First Amendment, the rights of Antifa to rally across the street, and the rights of Patriot Prayer to walk. So that's what that's about. That's negligence and willful negligence.
Let me ask you
and
something.
both sides are going to agree with you on that.
Because they care more about
Yes.
officer safety than the human beings they're supposed to protect.
Let me ask you this now. Let me ask you, and you're an eyewitness to this, okay? Because we don't want violence. I don't. As a matter of fact, this discussion is so that we don't have violence, and since we don't have utopia, the police need to intervene at some point, constitutionally, I say, to remove Antifa. Let me ask you this. Did they, in light of what I just described, a Supreme Court ruling where the obligation is for the police to go to Antifa and say, oh, this is the route, you can't even be anywhere near here because it's going to cause a riot. Let me ask you this. Did, in fact, they set up the environment so that they could declare a riot and take away everybody's rights to assemble wherever they wanted to assemble? That they set up the environment for a riot to be declared, and that is in violation of our constitutional rights. Did they set that environment up?
I believe Portland Police Bureau set it up so that they could declare a riot very quickly because they wanted to mitigate officer safety. That way they could just clear everything. I would love to be able to have access to the command and control communications from their mobile command center, but it's all encrypted. I can't get into it. I wish I could. But yes, I believe they set up the environment, the police did, so that they could declare a riot very quickly and shut down both groups.
Yes.
I'm 100% on that same page with you, Pete.
That right there, they need to be held accountable to. And there needs to be, even if it goes right back to the Supreme Court again, that they were negligent in protecting. Let's say Antifa said, we're going to have a rally and we've got a parade route and we're going to do things and we're going to juggle eggs as we go down the. You take the Patriots and you remove them. You say you don't get in their way. We're going to protect you. Whoever's there first to schedule whether it be. I like the permitting in this regard. That way you give them entitlement that they're there first. They have a right to do their thing.
Some kind of order.
You have to have some sort of an order.
Here's another one for you, Pete. There's negligence on two of these four groups I described. First, Patriot Prayer, I believe that if Joey wanted to mitigate the violence, he would have had his route go the opposite way down the street because there's no way that a large group of people could have conflicted with him because of the architecture. Also, Portland Police Bureau were negligent because when you make fill out the paperwork for a permit for a march in Portland, the police approve your route. So the police approved a route that would walk them right into the face of Antifa, bringing both groups to clash, and the Patriot Prayer side also, and Antifa are not at fault. They came there to fight, okay? No, sorry, they're not without fault. They came there to fight. They came there for violence. Everybody, both groups, I believe, it was a pitched battle. It may as well have been, I'm calling you out and let's go fight. That's what it looked like to me.
And here's the thing. Let me know when I can interject after that battle should have been between the police and Antifa. It should have been.
Yes.
If there was going to be a battle, that's who the police should have intervened, stood in the way,
and removed Antifa.
Or removed, set a barrier between Antifa and the Patriots, who were absolutely legal and constitutional in what they were doing. But like you said, the police are, and now it's not about the safety of the people. It's about the safety of them. And we've seen that happen. It happened. We have some hardcore people who, they support the police force. Guys who went to Charlottesville, right? I think that's what it's called, Charlottesville, yes. and they were there. Some of those guys ended up getting sued because they went there and they never participated in any violence whatsoever.
No.
And so
I have an important point to
they feel
make.
the same way. They feel that what happened in Charlottesville was exactly what happened in Portland on Saturday. The police set them up, put them into, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
And put them in a situation where they had to defend themselves.
I'm raising my hand. Mike, can I interject here before you respond? I'm raising my hand right now. I'm saying, can I speak?
I'm all ears right now.
All right, here's my question. Here's my question, because if going forward we want to avoid, okay, because it seems like somebody behind the scenes wants this confrontation. Okay, so how do we hold our system in check? I want to hold Portland PD right now accountable for what took place. They had a Supreme Court ruling that dictated that they must have removed Antifa. They failed to do it. They declared a riot and violated the rights constitutionally protected of the prayer rally. Yes. And they did not, the prayer guys, they didn't incite this. Now, here's the next thing. Now, you're saying, well, Joey, went on a march and he went right in front of Antifa. Since when is it antagonistic to go on a march after a prayer rally? And just because Antifa's there, you say that's antagonistic. I'm not directing my fire at you, but since when? I'm going to say this, that I stand with Joey Gibson and I say I have a right to come and go freely. I'm going to pray, get down on my knees, and guess what? I'm going right in this direction of my pre-planned route. And if you want to freaking shoot me, have at it. Shoot me. I'm going to come there. I'm going to go there because I have a right to proceed in this direction after a prayer rally. To say that I can do it and that the police should remove Antifa and not allow violence to take place upon us. They were not fearful. They were not fearful.
Well, here's the thing, Pete. Yes, they violated the rights of the constitutionalists, the right-wingers, Proud Boys, and Patriot Prayer by declaring it a riot. But also, where Antifa was marshaling across the street in the labor union, I forgot the name of whatever union it was, but it was a union protest and Antifa. They have every right to counter-protest across the street.
They do.
In the parks.
Go do that.
And that's what they were doing. But cooler heads need to prevail. Honestly,
yeah, I'm telling you, we have a solution here, though. We have a solution. You just described it. If you want to counter protest, shoot, man, we'll protect Antifa's right to protest somewhere else. But that's not what they went there to do, Mike, and you need to admit it. That Antifa was there to stop, and they admitted it in public weeks in advance. We're going to kick these Patriot Prayer people out. They set out to interfere with their right to come and go freely and to pray. They specifically, and that is unconstitutional. You can't do that. That was not a protest. That was violence, domestic terrorism being perpetrated upon peaceful patriot protesters, I believe.
I see it as a pitched battle by mutual combatants, and that's basically my thoughts.
The mutual combatancy is facilitated by Portland PD. What you just described is right, but it was facilitated by Portland PD.